All right, I'm standing here in front of 103 units in Charlotte, North Carolina that I just bought. So on this particular project, it's 103 units. Now, if you can tell, it's not an apartment complex, but they're kind of individual units. And they're all together, right? We have this whole block here, and then we also have some on this side over here. So we basically own about 65% of the neighborhood, which is great. Now that we started remodeling, our neighbors that owns like 10 units over here, 20 units over there, they're also starting to remodel. And it's great because it's gonna make the neighborhood a lot prettier. So what does this look like, right? Bought it for $8.5 million. We're gonna put in about $4 million bucks with some carry costs and things like that. We'll probably be all in around $14 million, maybe a little bit less. Just depends on if we go over budget on our rehab, and hopefully we don't. What is it worth, right? After we're done, it's gonna be worth north of 20 million, right? Maybe in the low 20s, right? Again, let's see what the market says in 2 to 3 years, but according to all the comparables, everything else is sold in this block or within like a quarter mile, right? It should be worth in the low 20s, 22, hopefully 24 or more, right? We'll see. So what are we doing to these? Well, as you can see here, we have some asphalt. When we first bought the property, there was just gravel road here. We spent about $300,000 on the asphalt all the way up this road. It's a couple of blocks, okay? Also, the properties weren't painted, right? Needing new roofs, new windows. We're basically gonna spend about 20 grand each inside of each one of these units. They're 750 square feet. Is it a total gut job? Not really, but pretty close. Everything inside is gonna get changed except for the walls, okay? So it's not a big deal. You walk in, you might get a little nervous because it looks ugly, dirty, but once we're done with them, they're gonna look really, really nice, right? We're gonna double the rents, right? They're $600 now. We're gonna get $1,200, $1,400 plus on these type of properties. Now we're about 5 minutes from downtown. We're at a great location, which is awesome, right? You can't stress location enough. If you got a great location, that's a bonus for your purchase. So let's talk about what we're gonna do on the inside. It's gonna cost $20,000 on the inside. That's about a little bit over $2 million. And on the outside, we're doing roofs, paint, asphalt. We're gonna do a lot of landscaping. The landscaping has not started yet, but once we do the landscaping, it's gonna look really, really nice. Put some fences up. So the total all-in budget that we have is roughly about a little bit north of $4 million. Now that's including our contingency, but right now what we have come in as far as costs, right? What we expect to spend is about 3.4, right? And our budget's around 4.1, 4.2. So there's a $800,000 buffer in case materials go up by 20% or 30%, or we go over budget by 20, 25%, right? It's all there as a safety buffer. We've already spent about $1 million on the remodel, and we really haven't gone over budget yet. We're still on budget. There's a couple of items, minor items here and there that aren't really making a dent at all in our budget. So, you know, if we don't hit the 4.2, we have an extra 800K that we didn't spend. What do I really expect? I probably expect if our budget is 3.4, I think we'll probably come in around 3.8, possibly 3.9, and have another 300K for like an oh shit moment, right? Like, oh damn, like, oh shit, you know, we did not know this was gonna happen, okay? Because you need those. All right, so on the exterior, right? So if we're doing 20K per unit, that's roughly $20,000. And on the exterior, we're gonna spend roughly about $1.2 million, $1.4 million. Roofs, paint, landscaping. You see the asphalt here, some fences, just making this place look a lot nicer. There's major development right down the road. You can walk there. Homes for $500,000, $700,000, apartment buildings, retail, mixed use space, pretty much all over within walking distance. So we got a great, great location. So what's the process, right? Somebody can say, hey, what's the process of when you buy this building? What do you need? Well, I'm gonna tell you the whole process. So number one is you gotta find a project. How do you find a project? Connect with commercial brokers, find somebody on social media, just, you know, word of mouth that you're looking to buy a property, right? Once you find the property, right, you analyze it, make sure it's a good deal. Now, you're gonna need somebody to sign your loan. This property is 8.5 million, so that loan sponsor has to be worth 8.5 million net worth or more. The bank's gonna usually ask for this kind of property, let's call it $1 million in the bank. So they have to be liquid, they have to have liquidity, basically have cash in the bank. And number three, they have to have some experience. right? So if you have all three, if you're that one person, perfect, you can sign. If you're not that person, you connect with people like me that can sign a loan, or on meetups, networking events, you know, wherever it is that you're getting your information, watch videos like this so you can connect with other people, right? So I was the one that was able to sign for this loan. Now, what is the bank gonna do for you? They're probably gonna give you, let's call it a 70% of the purchase price and possibly 100% of the remodel, right? So purchase price, 8.5, we got 70% of that, and we got about $4 million for the remodel, right? So there we go. That's what we got, total loan of, let's call it $10 million, right? Anything above that, the bank won't lend, this particular lender. So you got to bring extra cash if you go above the $10 million. This particular project, right? Some lenders lend up to 20 million. Now you do need the 30% down, right? So you got to come up with about $2.5, $3 million, and you have closing costs, right? You have carry costs. If your property is not going to cash flow, be able to pay its bills, you got to have enough reserves to start the construction and to be able to pay your mortgage if your property is not making enough money, right? So you can raise 3 million, 3.5. So rule of thumb, whatever your all-in price is, your purchase price and your rehab, multiply that by 35% and you kind of have a ballpark figure of how much money you need to raise, okay? So we come in, we start remodeling each one of the units, right? If there's some vacant ones, start with the vacant ones. If there's some occupied ones, well, you wanna get rid of the tenants that have not paid or cause a lot of issues or trouble, okay? You don't wanna get rid of everybody because you still want the cash flow coming in. Of course, you're gonna tell the current tenants, hey, we got some new units coming up at a higher rent. Would you like to move over? And if they qualify, perfect, you move them right over. Easy process, right? Some won't qualify, some want to move. So they go ahead and move and you remodel that apartment and then you're pretty much ready to lease it out at the new rents. How long does this process take? It depends, right? How quickly do you want to move? I can do this within 24 months, right? I've done it in the past, you know, 200 unit, 123 unit, and a 72 unit. So this is 100, so I got that experience, so I know that I can do this within a 24-month period. After that, you can go back to the bank, get a reevaluation of the property, right? Let's say it comes back at $21 million. You can either sell it or do a refinance and get all your money back, and then you can keep the property long-term, right? So, you know, it's pretty easy, right? I just explained the whole process, and it's not that hard. Just gotta get it done, go through a few projects, and it is not that hard. It's pretty easy. So this is our property in Charlotte, North Carolina, 103 units, all in around 14 million, worth 21, 22, 23. You know, that's not a bad project. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help, whatever you need. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Follow me on my other social media. I have Instagram, I got TikTok. Check out my website, javierhinojo.com. It'll be below on the video. I have a lot of things there for you. I have free calculators. I have meetups. I have live meetups. I have virtual meetups. I have a lot of information there, a lot of free tools for you guys to get started or to continue your real estate career. Check out the website and follow me in my other social media. Talk to you soon.